Hey you guys, it's Peter. And I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. I'm YouTube famous now, rich and famous with my dollar bills. Make it rain. Make it rain with my dollar bill. I'm at the laundromat because we're too lazy to go buy a washer and dryer. All we have to do is go up into the store and say, okay, that's the one we want, deliver it. And we're too lazy, and I keep on going to the washer and dryer. I was gonna say I keep on going to the washer and dryer place, the laundromat, the laundromat. But literally you go in there and everything's done in a half an hour, folded and ready to go into your closet. It's fantastic, I love it. I wish I had a laundromat in my basement that's called a washer and dryer. But anyway. Make it rain receipts, dollar bill receipts. I wish I had thousands of those. But anyway, I was just sitting here thinking because I wanted to go to the gas station. I was gonna get a fountain Coke, and I thought, well, it's much easier just to drive through the Starbucks and get a coffee. Truth of the nature. And let me tell you why, okay? Do you remember back in the day when gas stations had drive-through gas stations? I guess they're still drive-through, right? But like, what were they called? Oh, full-serve gas stations. I remember my ex, the very first time we went to the Swifty Mart in Seymour, Indiana. It was like the very first weekend I went down there. I stayed with him, and it is so hot. I don't have a fan in this car. So anyway, I need a fan. I mean, I have air, full ass, but if I put it on, full ass fan. If I put my fan on, it won't, like, you guys won't be able to hear a thing I say. Everybody on the phone today is like, what's that wind tunnel you're sitting in? I'm like, it's the air conditioner. Do you hear it? See? So anyway, but who can sit in all this heat and do videos? And oh my God, you guys have no idea the life of a YouTuber. I have to sit in the car and do YouTube videos. People always ask me, they say two things to me, okay? Number one, they say, why are you always in your car? Well, because I live in my car, basically, okay? No, I'm not a homeless person, but I basically am in my car 24 hours a day. I'm like a soccer mom, except I don't have any kids. I'm like running errands all the time. I feel like that's all I do. Laundromat and post office and all these different damn places. Do you ever feel like that? It's like, oh my God, like it just takes so many errands to just like run my life. Like to go to the grocery store, we don't even have food in our refrigerator. What am I going to the grocery store for? But anyway, you got to put it on the list, because if you don't put the grocery store on the list, and it's just like, well, are you really a human being if you don't go to the grocery store? I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so I was thinking about, oh, the other thing that people always ask me is, why do you shout? Why do you yell so loud in your videos? Get over it, you're irrelevant. Okay, listen, I'm hard of hearing in my left ear. I'm almost completely deaf. So to me, I'm not really shouting. Although sometimes I do watch my videos back and I'm like, Peter, hold it down, you're kind of shouting, right? So anyway, I was thinking that I really wanted a fountain Coke, but then I thought, well, it's just much easier to drive through the Starbucks and get my iced coffee, venti iced coffee with 2 equal. Love it so much. But anyway, but I just wasn't really feeling coffee today. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but then I was thinking about my experience, rather traumatic experience last night that happened to me at the gas station. And I was like, you know what? I just can't go to the gas station again. And this happens all the time to me. Oh, I was talking about the Swifty in Seymour, Indiana. So when I first got together with my ex, he thought he was bougie. He wasn't. So anyway, I'll never forget, we like pulled into the gas station and he just sat there, right? And I'm like, what are you doing? And he was like, what do you mean, what am I doing? And this guy walks out, and they used to have these boxes, like by like where, you know, like when the windshield wiper stuff is, but now they used to have boxes of like cigarettes and stuff. And so he was like, he rolled down his window and he was like, yeah, fill it up and I'll have a pack of Camel Lights. I was like, what are you doing? I was like so offended. I was like, you can pump your own gas. He was like, no, that's what they're there for. I'm like, what do you mean that's so like condescending? He goes, that's what they're there for. It's a full serve gas station. You pay extra for it. I go, you pay extra for your gas just so that you can have somebody else pump it for you? He's like, I don't want to get out of my car. I'm like, oh my God, so lazy. But anyway, so anyway, I went to the gas station last night because, like, on many nights, I wanted to get a fountain pop, right? Now, I have my favorite gas stations. My favorite one, if you watch my vlog, is the BP out by my good Judy Tanya's house, and Train A works there. So if you watch my vlogs, you know who Train A is. If you don't know who Train A is actually Justin, but forever he wore this name tag that said, it didn't say Trainee, it said, well, it did, but it said Train A, and then there was like a thing over it, so we called him Train A. We just thought that was so cute. But anyway, did you ever do that with people that you meet in the gas station, the restaurant? You act like you have this like immediate relationship with them, but like if you ever saw them in the street, you never say boo to them. That's how we are with Train A, but we love them so much. But anyway, so Train A the other day was like, well, I want to be YouTube. I was filming in the gas station. What do you call that anymore? Convenience store? What do you call it? I don't know. But anyway, we were up in the BP, and I was filming, and he goes, what are you doing with the camera? And I was like, oh, I'm filming. Do you care? And he was like, no, not at all. And Tanya's like, he's YouTube famous, don't you know? And I was like, so embarrassed. I was like, oh, Judy, come on now. So anyway, I don't really call her Judy, I call her Tanya. T sometimes, Tanya Applestein. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so we were up in there and he goes, well, I want to be YouTube famous. And I said, well, all right, Trainee, what's your talent? He goes, what do you mean, what's my talent? I go, everybody has to have a talent. I go, do you sing? Do you rap? Do you dance? What's your talent? He goes, stand up. I go, stand up what? You just stand up? He goes, no, stand up comedy. I go, well, do some for me. He goes, well, I can't do some off the top. I go, I do it every day in a video. Get over it. If you want to be YouTube famous, you got to do stuff on the spot. That's how you become YouTube famous. And you tell everybody I'm YouTube famous. They don't believe you, but it doesn't really matter. I get on a daily basis. You know you're not YouTube famous, don't you? Well, do you? You don't know me. You don't know my life. So anyway, last night, my good Judy Tanya, she couldn't go get a fountain Coke with me because she couldn't. So anyway, so I went, why am I up with these dollar bills? Like, this is so embarrassing. This is all I have left. I hope to God the dryer makes it with all the millions of towels and sheets we have up in there, because all I have is 3 singles left, okay? Broco. So anyway, so I go up into the Thorntons last night. Well, y'all know that the Thorntons is one of my favorite gas stations, right? I mean, do you have favorite gas stations? I guess I do. Like, I don't really care for Speedway. I think it's always dirty. Somebody commented on my video one time, they got very offended. They're like, well, I work at Speedway and I take a lot of pride in it. Well, good, I'm glad. I mean, if I came to your Speedway, it would probably be spotless and you guys would be nice and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? Like, I mean, the Speedway that I go to, it's not. It's dirty and they don't ever clean it and the people aren't nice there. So I don't go to Speedway, right? So that tells you a lot about good service in the service industry and cleaning up your messes, okay? We learned that in kindergarten. We leave things the way we found them. If everybody did that, it would be nice, okay? So if you take your straw thing off, you don't just throw it on the counter, you put it in the trash can, okay? If you take a cup out and you fill it up with a slushie and you realize, oh, I don't want this blue mellow yellow slushie, I think I want Coke now, you don't leave it on the counter, you dirty fool. You throw it in the trash and you get a new cup. Why do people do that shit for those people that work in the gas station and have to clean up that mess? My mother would have yelled after those people if she worked up in the gas station. She would have said, sir, you need to come back here and clean up your slushie. That's disgusting. Anyway, my mother, one time, true story, right? My mother had a master's degree. And not that that matters, but it kind of is pertinent to the story. This person is trying to get in this parking space next to me, true story, and they are going to wreck me. I know they are. She's like, who are you talking to? I'm talking to my people. Don't worry about it. So anyway, my mother got a job up at this gym, okay, Lifetime Fitness, because she wanted a free gym membership, and she stayed up very, very late like I did. So she went into this gym and she got her a job on 3rd shift. Well, it was her and the front desk guy, okay, and her job was to go in and fold towels and put them away. Now my mother had a master's degree in Oriental literature and education too, count them, okay. So she did not like people talking down to her whatsoever. She was very humble, but she didn't like people talking down to her. And so I will never forget, she called me and I called her and I was like, so Mom, how's your new job going? And she had worked there like 2 nights. I said, Mom, how's your new job going over there at Lifetime Fitness? And the only reason she got the job was because it was like 2 days a week and then she got the membership for free and she didn't want to have to pay for the membership for the gym, right? She's like, oh, I quit that job. I was like, you quit that job? She's like, oh yeah, I quit that job. And I was like, why? And she was like, they didn't respect me. These are the kind of reasons that my mother could not hold a job. My mother, true story, could not hold a job to save her life, right? I'll never forget, she worked at the Filofax thing in the mall for like literally a day. And I called her and she was crying and I go, Mother, why are you crying? She goes, it's all computerized now. I'm too old. I don't understand this digital age. I was like, oh my Lord, Mother. She called a cell phone a cellular device. I swear till the day she died. And she was 64 and it was 9 years ago. She'd be like, where's my cellular device? And she wasn't, like, I showed a picture of my vlog the other day. My mother was hot to trot. She didn't look old. So anyway, but where was I at? I always forget my stories, don't I? So anyway, oh, she was up in the gym and the guy that worked there, he came down and he was like surveying what she did. And he said, oh, Barbara, he goes, you fold towels very well. My mother had that for about 2 seconds, let me tell you. She goes, excuse me? She goes, I fold towels very well. Let me tell you, I have 2 master's degrees, okay? She goes, I don't need this job. She was right on out of that place, right? She didn't work out. But anyway, she walked a lot. She was kind of a mall walker. She liked to put on the Janet Jackson and the earphones and walk around. She still had a Walkman, tape cassette Walkman until the day she died. I found it in the basement. She loved it so much. But anyway, so that's nothing about Trainee and my mother and all. I've gotten on so many different tangents. My Lord. This is like old school Peter with the mania. Okay, so last night I went up into the Thorntons. Now let me tell you a few things that drive me crazy. Well, first of all, that slushy shit when they leave the counter a complete mess. And my friend Helena that works up in the Thorntons, she cannot clean that mess when there's 20 people coming in and out, and she's been robbed 15 times anyway. That store gets robbed. It's right in the center of everything, full on blast lights, cops sitting there 24 hours a day, and she gets robbed at 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And the last guy, get this, that robbed her, this is what he said to her. He goes, now be safe. So every time when I leave, I always look at her and I go, now be safe. And she laughs and I laugh, and it's this real cute little joke between us, right? But that's some bullshit to be robbing somebody at 6 o'clock in the morning, right? They got caught, she told me. Good riddance. But anyway, so I go in there, you know, I'm getting my fountain Coke and whatever, and I'm standing there, and there is literally like 5 people in front of me. I was thrown down. It was 11 o'clock at night, and I am like, well, it was a Friday night, so everybody was up in there getting their blunts and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, why is everybody up in the Thornton Speedy Mart or whatever it's called at 11 o'clock at night on a Friday night? Don't y'all have something better to do? I mean, I don't. That's why I'm here getting my fountain Coke, getting ready to listen to my audiobook and drive around and listen to, oh my Lord, I watched that. Oh my God. That Netflix Newtown documentary last night about the Sandy Hook shootings. Kill a beast, that thing was so sad. I literally sat in my car in the parking lot at Meijer and watched that thing and bawled my eyes out for a good hour and a half. That's my life. So anyway. Well, I didn't want to bother my husband. He had to get up early this morning, so I couldn't sit there and watch it at home, and I would have just been a boo. So anyway, so I got my fountain Coke, and I'm sitting there in line, and I'm like so ready to bolt it out of the store. I'm so pissed, right? Well, there's one guy, and he's counting change in his lane, so he can't like be bothered with helping anybody, and there's 5 people in front of us, you know? And it's all the going out outfits. It's the girls, you know, all done up, and, you know, they are getting like a Red Bull, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. It's just... And there's this couple at the front of the line, all right? And they have like 6 2-liters, like a gallon of milk, a loaf of bread, and I'm like, baby, what are you doing? You're grocery shopping for the week up in the Thorntons, okay? First of all, and I talked about this on my vlog last night because it pissed me off so bad. First of all, don't you know that it is cheaper to go into the grocery store? Okay, and you're counting out change, nickels and dimes on the counter to pay for your bread and milk. Maybe go on down the store to the Aldi's and pay for it there because you probably get it for half price, okay? But you're so like having to have your 6 2-liters of all disgusting different kinds of pop. You know, oh, it was disgusting. It was all stuff that I would never drink in a million years. Mellow Yellow and all that kind of stuff. Disgusting. I don't know. Maybe it was like 3 for the price of 1 or something, but they had to have it. And the guy at the counter is sitting there, or Helena, my good Judy, she wasn't there last night. So it was this guy at the counter, and he was new, and he's like counting these nickels, right? And he's like 5, 10. I mean, he's like so slow, and I'm like, we are gonna be here for 10 hours. Why do people do their grocery shopping at the gas station? That just really pisses me off, okay? And the other thing is, I can understand it at like, I don't even understand why they have that kind of food at the grocery station, at the gas station. I mean, I can understand at like 2 o'clock in the morning having a bread emergency. I don't know what a bread emergency might be at 2 o'clock in the morning, or a milk emergency that you might need to have, like formula for your baby. I don't even know. Do you put milk in a formula for a baby? I don't have kids, that's why. I only have $3, so I couldn't afford a kid. But anyway, so I don't even know what a milk emergency would be. But I understand having to go out at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it's 11 o'clock on a Friday night. Every grocery store in the world is open. Why aren't you up in there? Why aren't you up in the good Walmart getting your stuff for free or getting your stuff for cheap plus samples? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. So anyway, this guy's counting this stuff, okay, to this couple, right? And when he's done, he's like, oh, the guy before you, he was talking, he's like, he was like 75, and he was talking about how he loves when his wife takes out his teeth and eats them out. And I was like, did he just tell this couple this horrible joke about this guy that came in? What? What are you talking about? Let me tell you the truth of the nature right here. That man sat through 5 people and told that same disgusting story 5 times. And right before you, this 70-year-old man came in and said he loved when his wife took out her teeth, and then he'd eat her out. And I was like, what is going on here up in the Thorntons on a Friday night? And literally every person, straight-laced, straight-faced, right? So he gets up to me. Now, I've heard this story 5 times, okay? I'm like, I can't do it again one more time. And here he is. And if you haven't caught on by now, get ready, because he goes, I get my stuff and I go, can I have my receipt? And he was like, oh, here, you want a receipt? I was like, yes, I want you. I always ask for a receipt. You know that. You see me in here 50 times a day. I basically live up in the Thorntons giving my gas stations receipts. So anyway, at the end of it, he goes, and this guy before you comes in here and he's like 70 years old. And he says, I have my wife take out her teeth and then I eat her out. And I go, you're getting the story wrong. And he goes, what are you talking about? And I go, you're getting the story wrong. And he goes, no, he told me I have my wife take her teeth out and then I eat her out. And I go, what does her teeth coming out have anything to do with him eating her out? I go, you mean he has her take her teeth out and then she gives him head? That's the damn story. Get it right if you're going to tell it 16 times. It's disgusting. He goes, I think you're right. Grab my fountain Coke out the store. I'm like, I can't. It's too much. It's too much, okay? I do not need sexual education up in the Thorntons on a Friday night at 11 o'clock. It's too much, okay? Children everywhere. That's the other thing. Why do you go to the Walmart on a Wednesday night at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's 4 kids, 2 of them asleep in the car, and why are kids up at 3 o'clock in the morning at the Walmart on a Wednesday? That irks the shit out of me. I mean to tell you, half the time, I want to look at those people. I don't even want to get into it and say, why are your children up? Why do you have your children at Walmart at 3 o'clock in the morning? I just want to look at them and go, you're a bad parent. True story. That's why I don't have kids, because I like to go to the Walmart. Plus, I'm a broke hoe. We already know that, you know, make it rain. So anyway, I almost can't even go in the gas station anymore because if I can't just go right in and go right out, it just pisses me off, you know? It just pisses me off to no end, so. Like I said yesterday, I'm a venter, I'm not a stuffer. If I stuff these things, I just get more and more angry and then it just builds up and then I can't do anything with it. But today, I feel much better because I have vented and I've gotten it out. So I probably will go back to the gas station, but I do miss Trainee. He's my favorite gas station worker. I'm basically friends with all the people that work at all the gas stations in the north side of Indianapolis. I know they are my friends because I don't have lots of friends these days, but, except for my good Judy Tanya. Anyway, that's the truth of my nature. That's my story today. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Do y'all get nervous? Do y'all get nervous? I do, I get nervous. I see in those gas stations, I get real nervous. I'm like, oh my Lord. Get me out of here! Bye.